Come on in, guys. Welcome to Idled Out, where we talk all things Survivor. My name is Luke, and today we're talking about love. You know, in these trying coronavirus times, it's good to remember the things that are truly important. And that would be the kind, encouraging words of our closest loved ones, the warm embrace that comes with falling into the arms of someone whom you know loves you unconditionally. And Survivor has been chasing those emotional moments since the very first season by inviting the loved ones of the survivors to the island. Some of us love it, some of us hate it, but Survivor has had a family visit almost every season since the very beginning. Of course, with 20 years on the air, not every visit can reach the emotional highs of, say, Taj learning her husband is back at the camp.
There's one line.
See you back at the camp! Oh my God!
Indeed, sometimes the Survivor family visit gets downright weird. So let's count down the top 5 strangest family visit moments in Survivor history. And before we begin, I'm going to not include Johnny Fairplay and the grandma lie, which isn't so much weird as it is incredibly amazing and diabolical and the best moment in Survivor history. I guess Thunder D's finger moves could qualify as weird, but for now, let's table this moment for another day. The 5th strangest family visit moment in Survivor history is Bryan Dixit's visit with his wife Cece in Survivor Thailand. In Thailand, the family visit came at the final 6, and after 31 days on the beaches of Thailand, the survivors were desperately in need of some love. Helen practically jumps out of her seat when she sees her husband. Jake is brought to tears at the sight of his wife. And Bryan, well, he literally couldn't care less. You know, I thought getting to see his wife after a month of playing an intense, physically and emotionally challenging game might thaw the Iceman. But, I guess not. Even as she's leaving and crying about how Bryan is her soulmate, he just looks bored, even as Clay keeps screeching about how hot he finds Cece.
Uh-oh, she got it going now.
On top of that, earlier in the season, Bryan won a reward to watch a home video of his wife in front of the entire tribe, and the exact same scenario plays out. Bryan looks embarrassed as his wife dances around on tape, bragging about their wealthy lifestyle, and Clay, again, is awestruck.
She's fit for the bikinis, I'm gonna tell you.
At number 4, we have Lisa Whelchel's visit from her brother Justice in Survivor Philippines. First of all, this dude runs out having apparently forgotten Lisa's name.
Sister.
Now, the word on the grapevine is that Justice didn't want to out Lisa as Facts of Life Lisa, and he figured she might be using an alias or something. So he just called her Sister. But instead of saying that, he could have just said nothing at all, like everyone else, ever. He was most definitely overcorrecting for Lisa's hidden identity. Also, it's not like her being a sitcom star in the 80s is really even that big of a deal. She was Blair on The Facts of Life, not Batman. Justice seems like a really nice guy, and I really liked watching Lisa play Survivor, but this physically hurts to watch. The 3rd strangest loved ones moment in Survivor history is Greg Buist and his video from home, sent courtesy of his sister Julie. In many of the early seasons of Survivor, the survivors would receive videos from home shortly after the merge, then the family visit proper a few episodes later. Now, Greg very tragically didn't make it to the family visit in Survivor Borneo, but his sister did send in a tape, which is bizarre enough to make the cut for this list.
Luka, mau, mau, ping, ping.
Look, there were only 2 ways Greg's sister was going to turn out. A completely straight-laced bore, or a similarly insane person who drops absurd non-sequiturs and speaks in an almost alien language. And thank God it is the latter. Can we get these 2 on Blood vs. Water 3, please? Greg gets to send a tape back to his sister and begins making overt sexual references towards her, which, to be fair, is simply him returning the favor. And this does not please Rudy.
I can't understand a guy talking to his sister that way. It sounded like Greg was talking maybe incest.
Yeah, this is definitely not his generation's sense of humor. Our second weirdest family visit moment is Coach's visit from his loved one in Survivor Tocantins. Okay, look, this is already getting strange. Most survivors bring a loved one to the loved one's visit. Coach brought his assistant coach. And look at this poor guy, he genuinely doesn't understand what he's even doing here. After bragging about how everyone calls him the Dragon Slayer, Coach immediately makes his assistant coach stretch him out, which he relishes to a weird degree. What makes this visit from his assistant coach extra strange is that a few seasons later in South Pacific, where Coach also makes the family visit, his brother is his guest this time. Perhaps he was unavailable during Tocantins, or maybe Coach and the assistant just had a really great soccer season. Either way, inviting your coworker to be your loved one is, very Coach. The weirdest family visit moment in Survivor history is Kat's visit with her cousin Robbie in Survivor One World. When Robbie comes out, Kat charges him on all fours like a dog that's excited its owner just got home. Then she jumps into his arms and begins speaking in some sort of gibberish that apparently can only be understood by Edersons. This is just so Kat. I genuinely admire Kat's ability to be so comfortable in her own skin. And this is like peak Kat being comfortable in her own skin. Jeff comments about how touching their love is, how it's really beautiful to see such affection shared between two people. And Kat lists the reasons why.
We work together, we live together, we breathe together.
Wait, you what together? Got nothing else for you. To show me the same kind of love you'd show your assistant coach, like and subscribe, and I'll get you more Survivor content just like this. Until next time, don't get idled out.